File item number 14. That's 14. It's AB 889.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. I am pleased to present to you today Assembly Bill 889, a measure on the topic this committee is quite familiar with, concurrent enrollment. In order to meet the growing demand for skilled and knowledgeable employees in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it is necessary for California to ensure access to STEM courses as early in a student's career as possible. AB 889 enables local school districts and community colleges to voluntarily enter into partnerships permitting as many qualified students who wish to concurrently enroll in STEM courses during any session. AB 889 will not permit students to simply walk onto a community college campus and enroll in STEM courses. Instead, qualified students will have to carry the recommendation of the high school principal, attain parental consent, and they must have exhausted all opportunities to take an equivalent course or program offered by the local school district. Additionally, the content of these partnerships may contain an outline for which courses students are eligible to take and the level of academic readiness they should possess. And under AB 889, community college districts will be able to assign any level of enrollment priority to participating students so long as no regularly admitted community college student will be displaced as a result. By giving students an enhanced ability to enroll in these college courses while in high school, AB 889 will not only better prepare them to enter college and successfully complete their degree, but will maintain their interest in STEM fields and ensure that we are producing the number of STEM degrees we will need to fill the growing workforce gap. AB 889 carries a great deal of support, including the California STEM Learning Network, EdVoice, Cal Chamber, and several others. With that, I ask for your aye vote.
Move the bill.
Moved and seconded. Your witnesses, Ms. Chang.
Thank you. Mira Morton here on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce. Pleased to support this measure. We broadly support expanding access to STEM courses and concurrent enrollment to high school students when it suits the needs of high schools, students, and community colleges. And STEM courses in particular, making sure that we get access, that students get access to those earlier in their education helps ensure that more of them will pursue this when they move on to college. And also making sure that more high school students have access to college level courses will help increase their college readiness, their competitiveness to get into college, and speed up their time to degree. So it's a win-win-win. And these fields will lead to exciting careers for the students that pay well, so it suits California employers and students. And for that reason, we urge your aye vote.
Any further witnesses in support?
Cindy Hillary on behalf of the 34 rural counties in California in support. Concurrent enrollment is an excellent way to increase educational opportunity access in rural counties. Often these are the types of educational opportunities that are not available in rural counties in high schools, and so making these opportunities available through the junior colleges is an excellent way for rural students to have the same educational opportunities that are available to their suburban and urban counterparts. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further support?
Laval with EdVoice in support.
Ray Burnell with the California Catholic Conference in support.
Seeing no further support, any witnesses in opposition?
With the California Federation of Teachers. We have an oppose unless amended position on this bill. We had a number of concerns. We did meet with the Assembly members' staff and went through those concerns. I have draft language that addresses most of those concerns. I have not seen the amendments in print yet. We want to take a look at those. One of the outstanding issues from my analysis of the draft amendments is the age at which these students would be allowed to take classes on community college campuses. That's a concern of ours. We want to make sure that students are safe, that they are mature enough to take classes with adults. And so we want to continue to work with the author and her staff to address that issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further opposition? Seeing no further opposition, any members of the committee wish to comment? Seeing no comment, Ms. Chang, you may close.
Thank you. I will just address the concerns of CFT. If this bill passes out of this committee, it will be amended in the next committee, and we already have the language. So with that, I ask for your aye vote. Thank you so much.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is to pass to appropriations. O'Donnell?
Aye.
O'Donnell, aye. Chavez? Kim? Aye. Kim, aye. McCarty? Aye. McCarty, aye. Santiago? Thurmond?
Aye.
Thurmond, aye. Weber?
Aye.
Weber, aye.
The bill is out.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair and members.
File item number 3, Ms. Lopez, AB 233, file item number 3. If you could just give me 1 minute. Good start, Ms. Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. After review and reached and accept committee amendments 1, 2, and 3 on page 4 and 5 of the analysis, thank you for the committee staff for your hard work. AB 233 will strengthen the safety net for our working poor families that are eligible for child care. This bill looks to support working families and will be we recently signed federal child care development block grant. Especially AB 233 provide peace of mind to families funding child care for the 12 months. This bill supports parenting choice by connecting families to programs that best meet their working needs and will aid poor families to become independent. The families that will benefit by AB 33 face a lot of stress, and this bill will go a long way. With me today, I have two witnesses here to testify and answer any question the committee might have about the bill and the amendments on page 4 and 5 analysis.
Deneen Micheletti, representing the California Alternative Payment Program Association. Our members are a mixed delivery system committed to supporting parental access and choice to a variety of child care centers. This bill will go a great deal, as was stated, to supporting the most fragile of families. In order to keep it brief, I'm just going to be here to take your questions, and we support the amendments that are taken. And with that, Philip Warner, Children's Council in San Francisco.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and committee members. I'm Philip Warner with the Children's Council of San Francisco here in support of AB 233. By establishing 12-month eligibility, this bill would go a long way in supporting low-income working families in California by allowing them to plan for their immediate futures by knowing how long they had to receive subsidized child care, having a clear picture of when that was going to end and be up for recertification. Additionally, currently, Education Code allows the superintendent to extend child care services for families looking for work in areas of high unemployment. For the migrant child care programs, and this bill would extend that ability to all subsidized child care programs. And also, to keep it brief, finally, I just wanted to say this would also benefit families by allowing alternative payment programs to have policies whereby family fees or their share of child care subsidies would be paid directly to providers instead of to the AP program. These fees are monthly fees, and families see their child care provider every day. They see the alternative payment program much less, and it makes sense that those fees would be paid to providers. This bill would allow for that, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote today. Thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Bron Shea Jones on behalf of Knowledge Universe and our nearly 200 centers that we have in the state in strong support.
Thank you. Any opposition? Again, I have one question. You've accepted the first three amendments. And there's a fourth amendment that you're not accepting, which seems to be pretty important to the success of the providers. You might leave, some small providers out to lunch. They're going to be stuck with having to chase the fees, and I don't think that's a good thing. And so, someone from the Department of Education here? Is there anyone from the? Could you come up and comment on that? And I know you don't have a position on the bill, but can you comment on the impact of that amendment?
Yes, we have expressed our concern to the sponsors of the bill around this issue in particular. We feel that it is the responsibility of the AP. That's part of their administrative duty to collect these fees. The provider does not have the opportunity or the legal authority to offer a notice of action if those fees are not paid. So we're concerned about just the logistics of it, the legality of it. So we have expressed concerns. The sponsor has expressed their willingness to work with us on this issue, but we do have serious concerns as it stands right now.
So, Ms. Lopez, why not this amendment?
I'm going to ask Denise to respond.
So we didn't, at this point, take the amendment. The language that's included in the bill currently provides an option in the field right now. It's about a 50-50 split where agencies collect the parent fee and another 50 where the providers choose to collect it. We wanted to make sure that the language had a process in place where agencies had to demonstrate transparency of whatever the process is. We certainly don't want language that, and we haven't encountered it, I need to underscore, wherein we don't issue a notice of action or a change, but the transparency that we're trying to demonstrate is what current practice is. The commitment from us, the sponsor, is if we can't remedy it, we'll pull it out of the bill and we'll report back to the committee.
Ms. Look, can you comment further on this topic? It's somewhat technical in nature, but can you comment on this further? Because my understanding is it's pretty important. Maybe you can weigh in.
I don't feel entirely qualified to do so in the sense that I think it's a legal issue, particularly around the legal authority, but my understanding, which I can share, is that the APs specifically have this relationship as an administrative process, that we are obligated to collect these fees according to the contracts that are provided, and we're not sure that the providers have the ability or the authority to do so.
The legal mechanism?
Yes.
So what's wrong with that?
Again, we don't differ with what Department of Ed is saying. What we wanted to do is just to authorize the agencies had to require to have a policy in their manual. If it went too far and we're not clear on the notice of action, we'll clarify that we are not absolving ourselves at all of issuing a notice of action. Again, this has not been this has not been something we encounter in everyday practice. This is something the providers wanted, this is something the agencies wanted, and it demonstrates policies that are written in our manuals and how we operate.
Well, the amendment would, the provider would have to agree to it, as I understand it. So it's not mandating it on them, they'd have to agree to it. And again, I think this is to make the program more successful. So why?
Absolutely, and all that we're saying is looking at this now and listening to a couple of the agencies weigh in. It seems like it's minor, but the agencies currently that have this in process would have to, it would create a cost pressure. They'd have to go back and survey all the existing providers, and it's not a problem in the field. So again, our commitment is to remove it if we're not able to remedy it, but we're not intending to create a cost or a legal issue on either side.
The problem we have today, why we're having this conversation, is this was agreed to previously. Now today we learned that it wasn't agreed to. That's why we're having this discussion right now.
Well, we got the analysis of the bill and we looked through and again, for transparency, we had concerns with one of the amendments. In conversations with the department, we worked through our concerns on that one amendment. Input from the agencies, again, our agencies are not located in right in Sacramento, so I needed more than 4 hours to get input. What is the impact here? So I'm sharing with you, as soon as we were able to get input from our field, that this was a cost pressure to them.
Well, let's do this. Ms. Lopez, can you commit to work on this?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think this is very technical in nature. I'll concede that, but it sounds like it's important.
Yes.
My team does a good job of analyzing these bills, and when they bring amendments forward that are especially very technical in nature, usually they're right. So, and I'm not prepared today to say they're wrong. So, we're going to watch this as it goes forward.
Okay. That's
Thank
fine.
you. And what I'm hearing from you is you're committing to work on this issue.
Absolutely.
And
We don't want
responsible.
cost pressures or unintended consequences.
Correct.
We're
Okay.
here to make it easier for the families, the agencies, and the
I understand
providers.
that. Thank you. Thank you. With that, any further comment from the committee? Seeing no comment, do we have this moved yet? It's been moved and seconded. The motion is
To pass with amendments to appropriations
to pass with
Committee.
amendments to appropriations. Madam Secretary, call the roll.
O'Donnell.
Aye.
O'Donnell, aye. Chavez. Kim. Aye. Kim, aye. McCarty. McCarty, aye. Santiago. Thurmond. Thurmond, aye. Weber. Weber, aye.
The bill is out. We'll now go to Mr. Holden, AB 148, which is file item number 2. Mr. Holden, and then it'll be Mr. Frazier after that. Patient Jim.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. I'm here to present Assembly Bill 148 to advance a very important discussion involving the learning environments of our kids and the working environments of our educators. I would like to start off by accepting the Chair's proposed amendments and thank the Chair for his help and leadership on this matter. As we all know, the State Department of Education has estimated that 71% of the classrooms in California are more than 25 years old. About 30% of the classrooms are at least 50 years old, and about 10% of the classrooms are at least 70 years old. In a study conducted by the University of California, Berkeley in 2012, it was estimated that the California schools needed an infusion of approximately $117 billion through 2022, with close to one-half of that funding needed to replace or repair existing buildings. A growing body of research on school building conditions and pupil outcomes finds a consistent relationship between poor facilities and poor performance by pupils. School facilities that are clean, in good repair, and designed to support high academic standards are more likely to support higher pupil achievement regardless of pupil socioeconomic status. Today I present the framework for a construction bond that covers K through 14. To be clear, even this framework is under construction. AB 148 proposes to place a school construction bond on the ballot in 2016. However, AB 148 does not specify whether this bond would go before the voters in June or November. This measure does not specify a bond amount, but I have publicly stated my preference to a smaller bond that is accompanied by a sustainable revenue source. The goal of a smaller bond would be to address the immediate unfunded need currently logged by the State Allocation Board. Although I'm not supportive of the governor's proposal to gut the school facilities program, I do agree that debt financing of school facilities is not a sustainable way to fund school facilities. To date, I have met with members of the administration, including the Department of Finance and the Legislative Analyst's Office, and I'm exploring potential sustainable funding sources as we move forward. Some members of this committee have stated an interest in funding preschool facilities and higher education, and I would like to assure the committee that it is my goal to provide facility funding for each of these programs moving forward. Closing the disparity gap in school building quality is an integral part of closing the achievement gap, and I look forward to working with the author and working as author and the committee in bipartisan fashion to accomplish this. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Holden, any witnesses in support?
Mr. Chair and members, Erin Niemela representing the Infill Builder Federation. Many of the communities that our builders do their work in are disadvantaged and underserved communities, oftentimes with older facilities. It's a disincentive for families to move into those communities and a disincentive for us to do the work that we'd like to do there, which a lot of which is economic revitalization. We haven't had a school bond since 2006, and we appreciate the author's interest and leadership in this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public?
Rebecca Curley on behalf of the County School Facilities Consortium. We're in support. We believe that this state-local partnership has been critical to help county offices meet their facilities needs. They do not have the authority to issue local bonds and have thus been dependent on the state program in order to complete very important facilities projects. We believe that there must be a state role in the future, and we're happy to discuss what that should look like. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Pamela Gibbs, representing the Los Angeles County Office of Education. We'd like to see this bill move forward. We'd like to continue to work with the Majority Leader, the Chair, and the administration in seeing what school facilities funding looks like in the future. So we urge you to move the bill out so we can continue to work with you. Thank you.
Jeff Aka, representing the California Association of School Business Officials, simply echo the previous comments. Would like to see the bill move forward to continue this important conversation. Thank you.
Leilani Aguinaldo-Yee on behalf of Los Angeles Unified School District in support.
Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council, also in support.
Scott Governor on behalf of the Construction Employers Association, in support.
Thank you. Seeing no more support, any opposition? Seeing no opposition, any members of the committee wish to comment? No comment. Mr. Holden, you may close, please.
I thank the chair for his leadership, the committee for your leadership, and I ask for aye vote.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have a motion?
We need a motion.
I'll move it. The motion is support as amended, or do pass as amended to appropriations.
O'Donnell?
Aye.
O'Donnell, aye. Chavez? Kim? Kim not voting. McCarty? Santiago? Thurmond? Thurmond, aye. Weber? Weber, aye. McCarty, aye. Okay.
The bill's out. Thank you, Mr. Holden.
Thank you.
With that, we'll have Mr. Frazier. I file item number 17. It's 17. AB 975. Mr. Frazier, you may begin.
Mr. Chair and members, AB 975 seeks to address the issue of public agencies disqualifying or significantly penalizing through the pre-qualification process any contractor who has been involved in any litigation with a public owner, whether initiated by the contractor or the public agency. In these instances, the mere act of litigation is a disqualifying event. The automatic disqualification ignores the specific circumstances surrounding a claim, the severity of the claim, the outcome of the claim, whether the contractor prevailed, or whether the claim was the result of a subcontractor or a current or prior job, on a current or prior job. These types of questions will have a chilling effect on the filing of otherwise legitimate claims by contractors because of the potential impact on future pre-qualifications. And these types of questions will also minimize the pool of otherwise qualified contractors and drive up the prices, as practically all experienced contractors have had claims in the past except for me. I would like to thank the state building trades for working with us and helping craft the amendments we're taking today, which narrow the bill while we work on a final solution that will ensure public agencies that can turn away the bad actors without unintentionally turning away the good actors. Testifying in support is Scott Governor, representing the Construction Employers Association, and also Cesar Diaz of the State Building Trades. I thank you and respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Chair and members, briefly, Scott Governor on behalf of the Construction Employers Association. As Assemblyman Frazier said, the mere act of filing a claim should not be a disqualifying event. It denies contractors basic due process rights. We don't think these are fair. We think this bill would resolve that problem, so we ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members, Cesar Diaz, on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council, we want to thank the author for working with us to address our concerns. We support the bill as amended and urge your support. Thank you.
Any further support? Seeing none, any opposition? Seeing no opposition, members of the committee wish to comment? Move the bill. The bill's been moved and seconded. Mr. Frazier, if you wish to close.
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
The motion is do pass with amendments to appropriations. O'Donnell?
Aye.
O'Donnell, aye. Chavez? Kim? Aye. Kim, aye. McCarty? Aye. McCarty, aye. Santiago? Thurmond? Aye. Thurmond, aye. Weber? Aye. Weber, aye.
My vote is out. The bill is out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Gallagher, file item number 6. AB 517.
Mr. Chairman, members, I know you've had a long committee hearing today, so I will try to be as brief as possible. I just want to thank committee staff for working with my staff, and I think we came to some good language on this bill. I also wanted to thank opposition for working with us and going neutral after we were able to come to some agreement on language. And I think we have, as I said, a good compromise that helps keep parents involved in the process when sexual education programs are conducted at schools. So I ask for your aye vote. I'm accepting amendments, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Very brief. Any members of the public in support? Any members of the public in opposition? We'll bring it back to the committee. Any comments? Ms. Kim?
Sure. I'd like to thank Assemblyman Gallagher for bringing this bill forward. Obviously, I can see that you have put a lot of thought and hard work into this bill, and I appreciate what you're trying to achieve. I think we all agree the affording parents more information about the content and the curriculum of sex education empowers them to make a thoughtful decision about what's right for our children and for their children as well. So with that, I'm very happy to support your bill today.
Thank you.
Any other members of the committee? Can you move the bill? It's moved and seconded. Mr. Gallagher, you may close.
I just ask for your aye vote.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is do pass as amended to the Appropriations Committee. O'Donnell?
Aye.
O'Donnell, aye. Chavez? Kim? Aye. Kim, aye. McCarty?
Aye.
McCarty, aye. Santiago? Thurmond? Aye. Thurmond, aye. Weber? Aye. Weber, aye.
The bill's out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good job, Mr. Gallagher.